Hannah, thanks so much. We do know Metro shelters are opening up emergency beds as this Arctic air moves across the state.
On your screen is information about the times, locations, and who is welcome at each individual shelter. Embark says it's offering free transportation to Metro shelters and warming centers when temperatures are below freezing. We're there right now. The shuttle route runs between several shelters every morning and night.
Let's go ahead and get another look at that forecast on the timeline. Jed Castles, here you are. How are we doing?
Hi guys, good morning to you. Well, kind of waiting game right now for this precip to get going. There is some precip starting to form in the states. We've got our trackers ready to go. The concern here is there's going to be some ice. We're talking some sleet or some freezing rain forming, and that's the stuff that can make those roadways slippery very, very quickly. And that's under what we have temperatures right now that are in the teens to near 20 and wind chills down in the single digits above and below zero. So very frigid start here out the door this morning. Hank Brown's on that wreck here in southwest Oklahoma right now. Let's go to Hank. Hank, you're out on the roads now. Are you starting to see any of that precip fall?
You know, Jen, I have not. The roads are still dry. Now, there is quite a bit of pre-treat on the road. This wreck here is at, as Hannah said, it's I-35 northbound. It's just before the Shields exit. They've got Camaro loaded up on a wrecker. Then you can see on the left side here, they've got a semi loaded up on a wrecker. So it's still pretty slow going for traffic right now. Back to you.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Hank. Let's go ahead and check out West Oklahoma, check in with Marty Logan. And we also have Jeremy Carter out there. We'll check in with him, too, here in a little bit. But, Marty, you're out of the roads here this morning. You're kind of moving toward what's a little band of precip there, moving toward the Hobart area. Let's get an update from you.
Yeah, just north of Snyder, just a few miles. Looking around, just seeing what I can, if there's anything falling yet. We want to get on it real quick. Just coming into Roosevelt, temperature is 18 degrees. Roads are okay so far. Back to you.
Very good. So let's check out the big view, show you what the precip looks like so far and what the advisories are looking like. You see lots of advisories from Texas to Oklahoma on to our east and to our northeast. These areas shaded in red, that's a winter storm warning. The area shaded in purple, that's for a ice storm warnings. That's the worst right there. That's that stuff where it causes all kind of chaos. For much of Oklahoma, we're in a travel advisory, meaning there's going to be a little band of precip moving up across, but it won't last all day. Hopefully we'll get some improvements on the roads here later this afternoon as we look at the advisories here across Oklahoma. Again, travel advisory covering most of central, southwest, and east Oklahoma, and these areas down in the south of the area we'll keep an eye on. There'll probably have some heavier precip developing. Also, wind chill warnings. Those are in effect for northwest Oklahoma. Down below zero, almost -10 right now. So frigid air continues up in the northwest part of the state. So I've mentioned the precip is starting to fall. It's very light. It's starting to fall near Tulsa. Seeing a band developing down in the southwest part of the state as we look a little closer to Oklahoma City. Like I said, kind of in that waiting game. The data is saying precip is going to develop. We're just waiting for that to happen. It's expected to be any time now. Again, the precip will start forming up and it's expected to expand as we go through the morning hours. Southwest Oklahoma, here's some of that precip forming. This is the precip that's going to move up toward Oklahoma City. This is going to come up our way over the next hour and we'll see that blossom into some freezing rain or some sleet as it moves in. Right now it's 17, very cold out there this morning. North winds at 15, wind chill at 2. Just frigid air out there again across the metro. Next gen is quiet, but it's extremely cold right now with wind chills down below zero in a few spots. Right now, -3 in Mustang, -1 in El Reno. So we're very cold. We're talking about that precip developing. Lacey has the update on when that's going to happen. Lacey?
Yeah, going through mid-morning, the precip starts to firm on up. The concern right now is just with those cold temperatures and how long we've been below freezing, about 29 hours in Oklahoma City. In total, up to 85 consecutive hours. We won't climb above 32 until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. So any precip that falls between now and then will have an opportunity to cause some slick travel. Right now, if you're about to hit the roadways, it is slick in portions of McFusky County, portions of Seminole County, back up to Tulsa in spots due to freezing drizzle yesterday and last night. Here's the timeline for Oklahoma City. Between now and 9, freezing rain and some sleet develops. Between 9 and noon, we will continue with that precip. It becomes heavy at times, it's patchy at times, and that will cause some slick roadways where that precip falls, and then everything moves to the east this afternoon and evening with some slick spots still possible in the metro and wave number 2 tonight and tomorrow. Temperatures today up to about 22, the maximum wind chill about 10. This afternoon, teens and 20s. That's it. We are not warming up, and here's the latest on future radar. This area continuing to expand between 9-10 o'clock this morning. Some sleet, some freezing rain within that, but it's patchy. That breaks apart into the afternoon and pushes into eastern Oklahoma, where the precip will be into the afternoon and evening. And here comes wave number 2 tomorrow morning, arriving in the metro. Same thing, about 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Glances on by and gives us a chance to get a glaze of ice across the roadways. That is the concern. Not a major ice storm for Oklahoma City as far as power outages and damage, but roadways are the concern. So sleet, some freezing rain, mostly freezing rain down to the south. This afternoon, that's pushing off into eastern Oklahoma. Slight chance of precip. Here in the metro, we're down to the teens tonight and again tomorrow morning. Single digits, close to 0 for a feel-like temperature, with wave number 2 moving in with, again, some patchy freezing rain and sleet that presses off towards the east. In the afternoon tomorrow, still below freezing, in the 20s, and everything starts to wind down tomorrow afternoon and evening. So how much ice? I said not a major ice storm for Oklahoma City, a glaze, possibly 1/10 of an inch of ice. Further to the southeast, Ardmore, Atoka, McAllister, this is the zone where I think an ice storm is more possible, and that's where you could have some power bumps, some power outages, some tree damage as well. Those totals are enough to do that. Still not a crippling ice storm for that zone. As far as sleet goes, up to 1/2 of an inch of sleet when you go through this wave number 1 and wave number 2, and there may be a couple bullseyes up near Tulsa, closer to 1 inch of sleet, which is better for the power lines, that's for sure. Does make for tough travel, and this is not a snowstorm. Neither of these waves, they may bring some snow flurries, some light snow at times, but that's not the major precip maker. Then wave number 3, not locked in, but Wednesday night into Thursday may have some more wintry weather, especially along and south of I-40. Then the Arctic air is out of here and the 50s return. And we're back with more right after this.